Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. Let's get real close to hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Maximized. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
I have a very simple legacy formula. It's very simple. I was not great at math. You don't have to be for it. It's simple. Championships divided by teams you played for is how great your legacy. The higher the number on the far right column, the greater your legacy is. But now KD, 2 championships, but he's been on 5 teams at this junction in time. Your legacy is dependent upon how many championships you win and how many teams did you have to play for to do it. That's my simple legacy equation. I ain't got to get into all the gyrations and all the motions and all the debates. How many chips did you win? Good morning, beautiful people. We have drama, we have trouble brewing here in Los Angeles in the facility. Kevin Durant, he saw that and he shot back. I had to kick out a Kevin Durant apologist, that is Shady McCoy. I had to enter TJ Houshmandzadeh, 12-year, if I'm not mistaken, NFL veteran, to replace him. No, in all honesty, Shady's out there handling some business. Y'all know James Jones. Y'all know Rick Bucher. I'm not lying to y'all at home. I am under siege. I am under attack. Kevin Durant, I want to show y'all what KD said in response to that video. Take a look at it. He said, according to the great Kevin Durant's legacy formula that was created in the best labs at MIT, though Kevin Durant went to University of Texas as I did, Emmanuel is the worst linebacker of all time. You sure you want to listen to this guy about greatness? Now, here's the thing. I wasn't the best linebacker of all time, but the worst is a far, far stretch, KD. Again, I said my legacy formula. I said championships divided by number of teams played for equals your legacy meter. Rather than having to debate with everybody and they mom and them about legacy this and legacy that, I deduced a very simple formula for you all. How many championships did you win? How many teams did you play for? And the higher the number, the higher the final score, the greater the legacy. You see Kevin Durant there at the bottom. You see Kobe Bryant up there at the top. But again, that's a small list. I didn't include the likes of Dirk Nowitzki. I didn't include the likes, rather, of Michael Jordan, amongst other people. Like any rule, there are exceptions. Don't have time for the exceptions. But James, what I have time for is this. Whenever somebody in the family is under attack, you got kids, you got kids, you got kids. 100%. You would hope the family, bang!
1,000.
Would rally around you, bang!
1,000.
And support you. So, James, I know the answer, but I just want to confirm in front of the general public, the national audience,
100%.
Whose side are you on? Your boys? Or the person you don't know in Kevin Durant? I just wanted to confirm publicly for the whole world to see.
No doubt. And I don't know KD like that. I just watch KD.
And you know your boy.
And I know how special your boy is.
My dog, James Jones.
I don't even know really why this is.
A question.
You know what I mean? Because even when I seen it on Twitter yesterday, I'm like, hey, man, they at each other. And you, my dog.
Here.
100.
All day.
But I got to ride with KD. I got to ride with KD on this one, dog. You know, and I get it. I mean, shoot, KD can't put up graphics. I don't know if he got a graphic designer, you know what I mean? So he ain't put his graphic up yet. But Kevin Durant, man, is one of the coldest basketball players we've ever seen play this game.
He is.
A top 10 basketball player of all time, in my humble opinion.
One of the
two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP.
Two-time Emmy winner?
Two-time
Emmy winner?
Show.
Talk show. And we list the resumes.
And you, my dog. You have accomplished a lot. But you know what? Mama teaches us a lot on this show, right?
What Mama tell you, Jay?
And Mama say sometimes.
I don't like what Mama say no more.
Sometimes you got to keep it real with your friends. You got to let your friends know when they're wrong, and you got to let your friends know when they're right. In this situation, in my humble opinion, I'm going to say my dog that sits up here on the desk with me every day is wrong in this situation. I'm riding with KD.
I can't believe Just when you think you know a guy,
it was hard, man. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't sound that hard.
You know, now, KD, I might not.
You waited all it.
KD, I might not be here tomorrow, KD. So you know, look out for your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, said the Rockets do need a new tooth.
Yeah,
the Rockets might be looking for a new tooth
assistant
guard.
coach, ball boy, all that. You know.
Slick, I've been betrayed. I'm shocked.
It was tough, man.
I'm appalled.
It was tough, dog.
Heartbroken.
Done.
Dejected, been rejected.
I've been there. I mean,
But Slick, bang.
bang, yes, Slick.
Whose side are you on?
Team Acho.
My dog, Slick.
Team Acho. Look, he presented a very creative way to determine legacy, right? And he didn't go to MIT or any other institute of higher learning to figure out this formula. And, well, he came up with it all on his own. I applauded it yesterday, thought it was one of the nerdiest things I'd ever heard, but I thought it was beautiful. KD clapped back, did it in a fun and entertaining way. So it's not any love lost for KD. I mean, I really thought that was a clever way to come back. And more than anything, the two of them gave us some entertaining material at a very lean part of the sports calendar. But I'm going to go Team Acho because he's the one who started it. He's the one who was the instigator.
First punch.
And
That's
KD just came in and joined the party.
Oh, I feel you.
My dog, Slick. My dog, Slick.
You guys got room on this side of the
my big. We might have to.
Okay.
It's my big dog, Slick. I know what side Shady would have
I'm
been
surprised by you, Slick.
No doubt.
So you a throw first punch type dude, huh?
Oh, are you kidding me?
But here's the thing.
Hey, so Slick bomb first, huh?
Here's the thing.
Gotta get it
though.
in.
I don't know TJ that I threw a punch. You know what they say about hit dogs. What a hit dog gonna do is gonna holler.
Fair.
I just created a legacy formula. Crazy enough, it applies to every player that's ever played any game. So the fact that KD felt hit by it, again, you could apply this formula to any player. Obviously, there are outliers to any rule. There are exceptions to any rule, but it wasn't even a punch necessarily for me, TJ.
No, it was a punch. Yeah, it was a punch.
Because he was at the bottom of the graphic.
He was
at the bottom.
And it was one of them good jabs, too, T. You know what I mean? One of them good jabs. You know what they... I don't really know what... It was one of them good jabs because he basically said that Dirk, since he's been on one team with only one championship, his legacy is greater than KD's legacy because he's been on 5 different teams. And he has 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs and a league MVP.
Yeah.
And he's saying his leg. So it is a little jab. We're not saying it's a punch. It's a jab. You know what I'm saying? Because...
Here's why. Here's why, James. Because he built that list and he saw how it came out.
Yeah.
And he said, we got to put this out there.
He knew when he was building it.
T, break the tie.
You knew a jab that was going to land.
Break the tie for us. Kevin Durant, his side, your boy.
Yeah, I'm interested.
My side.
To hear what T
Now,
said.
mind you, T wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah.
So T is digesting this information in real time in front of you all at home, in front of us in real time. Break the tie, T.
So initially, as you guys know, I was going to play Switzerland. I was going to be neutral in this. I'm like, no, I'm not picking a side. Then Acho gets on, and Shady's a KD apologist. And since I'm in Shady's seat,
Yeah, come on.
I'm going to rock with Shady in this. I'm with KD.
Wow. We got to keep it real, though,
This is what I like about KD is how many superstars like KD would respond to that. They would just kind of let it go, be upset. He responds to a lot. And this a lot gives us this conversation to talk. The LeBrons, the Steph Curry, they just water off a duck's back. Okay, it is what it is. He better not speak to me when he see me out in public type. But KD responds. But I'm hoping we can bring these two Texas Longhorns together.
Hey, that's the realest take right there. What's on the beat?
What's up with this, right?
What's on the beat, man?
Hook 'em.
Now that's the realest take, T. You know what I'm saying?
Longhorn going Longhorn. What is this?
Let me ask you though, T, because the conversation yesterday was about legacies. And it was about if KD goes to Houston, would it water down his legacy? James weighed in, Rick weighed in, I weighed in, you haven't weighed in. Do you think KD going to Houston waters down his legacy? The reason I would say so is if you look at one-teamers, I think one-teamers are the greatest of guys because you just stayed on that one team for that one time, or at least staying on that one team for as long as possible. Obviously, in football, sometimes it's harder to do. Our money's not fully guaranteed. Our money is not as big as basketball players. But do you think it waters down his legacy going to Houston?
I do not. And I was thinking about this on a drive here this morning. KD is one of one. And when I say that, this is what I mean. What player in NBA history from the start to the finish has been the best player on every team he's ever played on? He might be the only one. He's been the best player from his rookie year to now. Every single team he's played on, he has been the best player every single year. And so how can you tarnish your legacy when that is the case? Get drafted to the Seattle Supersonics, who turned into the Oklahoma City Thunder. Best player on the team. Yeah. I leave and go to Golden State. I'm the best player on the team because before KD, Curry averaged 22. With KD, he averaged 26. So he actually got better. And then he leaves, goes to Brooklyn. He's the best player on the team. He leaves and goes to Phoenix. He's the best player on the team. Unless somebody takes a huge jump in Houston, he's the best player on the team. We've never seen a guy go from year one to the end, and you're the best player every single year of your career. We've never seen that.
It's well said.
It's incredibly well said.
Yeah.
To me, though, then it just begs the question of, like, what does best mean? Not best in the term of, like, most talented, but what's it getting you? Because that's my issue. For all these best players on the team for 17 years in the NBA, we got 2 championships, and the 2 championships came by joining the best team in basketball, historically, a 73-win team. When LeBron was the best player on the team, everywhere he's been on, because I would suggest that's been the same thing for LeBron, maybe up until his 20th year this year, if you want to say it was Luka, that got LeBron 4 championships. That got LeBron 9 straight finals appearances. When Steph Curry was the best player on the team, and I would push back, but for the sake of time in the conversation, I'm not going to push back, Steph Curry being the best player on the team for the last 13 to 15 years, that got Steph Curry 4 championships, 2 of which he got without Kevin Durant. So for being the best player on the team for 17 straight years, where are the championships, plural, to show for it? That's my tension.
He has 2 championships.
No doubt. 2 of which he got by joining the Golden State Warriors that were a 73-win team that won before him and that won after him. So was going to win regardless of whether he was there or not. You could argue, were they going to win those 2 when he were there? You can make that argument. Fine. I can't debate if they were. No doubt, right?
But KD is going to have to win a championship with the Houston Rockets in the next 3 years. He's going to have to win a championship in the next 3 years with the Rockets. And I believe, on paper, who beating them? You the historian, who beating them? You look at what, he's their closer, Mariano Rivera. We all watch baseball. That's KD now. They didn't have that last year. They got the closer now. Who's beating them?
But here's why I hate this. Here's why I hate that statement, and not because TJ's saying it, because I made the same mistake the person to my right made. Remember, Kevin Durant joined the Brooklyn Nets 4 or 5 years ago. And when he joined the Brooklyn Nets, we saw Kyrie Irving, and we saw James Harden. And we all said to ourselves, who's beating them? And it's a fair question. Yeah. You joining Kyrie Irving and James Harden? We said that. Then everybody beat them. Then Kevin Durant joined the Phoenix Suns. And we said KD plus Book. Then we heard Beal. Wait a second. Beal done averaged 35 a game in a season before. Booker's dropped 70 in a game before. And Kevin Durant's the guard. Who beating them? Everybody and their mama decided to beat them too. So now when you join Houston, T, I can't come on this same stage and the same podium in front of this same beautiful audience and suggest who's beating them. I don't know, maybe the same teams that's beat Kevin Durant the last 6 years?
Do you know why I say that? Is we just watched an NBA Finals where defensively it was something we hadn't seen in years. The Houston Rockets have that type of defense. They had those type of players. They had those type of guys that can play defense the same way Oklahoma City was playing defense, the same way the Pacers were playing defense, and they're young. They were just missing somebody that when we need a big shot, we know we can go to him at the end of the game.
And not only that, you can't do that to KD because we know how them situations played out.
Sure, I agree 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? Kyrie wasn't playing. James Harden was in and out of the lineup. He ended up getting traded. So that was a mess in Brooklyn. And then when you get to the Suns, I mean, if you ask me, on the basketball court, KD held up his end of the bargain while how he played. Am I lying, Slick?
No, he played as well as he could. It was a bad idea to put that group together, but I can't discount the fact that KD wanted to go there. Like, he didn't see that wasn't a good fit. He wanted to go to Brooklyn. He thought he could make something out of that, and he couldn't. I don't give a whole lot of value to what TJ, like, it is unique, and it is special that he's capable of going to 5 different teams and being the best player. But, like, he chose to do that. I think there's enough other players that could potentially do that, but they didn't find reason to go to 5 different teams. I don't know what KD is searching for. I know he had it at Golden State. I will push back on the idea that
I thought we were just pushing back on Steve.
I'm pushing back.
Why are you pushing back on me?
I was very quiet here for a while, and I was collecting receipts. I got a lot to push back on here. One that I just, yes, it's unique that KD was that good on that many teams or the best on that many teams, but it's part of being nomadic that other guys haven't found a need to be that way. The second part is, and I've always resisted this, is this idea that the Warriors were a championship team and KD just came on and carpetbagged on that. Because when he came on, they lost 2 starters, Harrison Barnes, Andrew Bogut. They lost their 2 best shot blockers, Andrew Bogut and Festus Ezeli. They lost their 2nd and 3rd rebounders, Andrew Bogut and Festus Ezeli. KD came on and had to, this was not the same team. They lost a number of their 3-point shooters off the bench. KD had to come in and fill a lot of holes, and he did that. What made it unique is he didn't just come on as a scorer defensively.
Yeah.
He was their best rebounder.
Great.
He was their best shot blocker. Like, he did so many things to fill holes that team needed to fill to be a champion. So the idea that they were like a complete team, they were a 73-win team, and then he just came on and was the icing on the top is not accurate for what
I'll agree with that, but here's where I will disagree is when I think about the great Kevin Durant, first thing is regards to what James said. We all up here know too much about sports, and I trust you, the viewer, will know too much about sports as well to suggest the only responsibility of an athlete is to play the game, not if you're the best player. If you're the best player, the responsibility of the athlete is not only to play the game, but to ensure that everybody around you can play the game to the best of their ability and also get the best of everybody around you. James does not just walk into here at 6:59 PST, get mic'd up, sit in his desk and do a show. Because that's not the responsibility of that. And y'all know good and gosh darn well, I don't do that. Because the responsibility of somebody isn't just to do what you see. I remember talking to my ENT doctor one time, had vocal cord surgery back in the day, and one of the charges was a high number. And I said, man, that's a lot of money. She said, you're not just paying for the visit. You're paying for all the schooling I went to. You're paying for all the med school I went to. You're paying for the residency. That's what you're paying for, not for the 10 minutes of treatment. In the same manner, Kevin Durant, you're not just giving us the 48 minutes of on the basketball court. You're giving us the conversation with Kyrie Irving at 11 o'clock when Kyrie's thinking, man, you know what? I don't really want to have a coach this year.
So his
bro.
legacy takes a hit because that's not him?
His legacy takes a hit because players do not become the best version of themselves when they play with Kevin Durant. Now, some of that onus has to be on the player. Bradley Beal, why'd you disappear this year? Devin Booker, why'd you not disappear this year, but why weren't you your maximal version? Kyrie Irving, all of a sudden you decide to get as distracted as you've ever been when you're with KD. Everything you're saying, T, because when you were saying, I was like, man, T's right. Like, this Houston team plays with tenacity, plays with grit, plays with effort, plays with energy. I instantly thought, I wonder how they'll play when KD shows up. I wonder how they'll play. Because last year they did. I don't know what they're going to do this year.
You know, I don't think that changes. Dylan Brooks brought a lot of that. But, man, do y'all see Emmanuel Acho? Do you see him on the sideline? Yeah. He act like he ready to take his stuff off and put on a uniform or something. The way that he carries himself as a head coach, That's not changing.
But here's the thing. Remember, we saw what Monty Williams was doing with the Suns as a head coach for even longer, and they went to a championship.
But Monty Williams is like more reserved.
Agreed, but I'm suggesting this. KD shows up. Devin Booker, who up until that point had just kind of been a nice kind of killer. All of a sudden, Monty Williams gone, and Devin Booker want to tweet 36 unbothered. KD's number plus his jersey number. I'm like, Booker, when did you turn into a villain?
But how is that?
You've never been a villain.
How is that KD's fault, though?
To me, it's not KD's fault, but I do believe the best player has the responsibility to make sure. James, if you late every day, I got a responsibility to make sure, like, hey, Jay, I need you on time. James isn't late every day.
And I agree with that, but that's not the type of player KD is. And KD is give me the ball, I am going to do my job.
Yeah.
Defensively, I am going to do my job. I'm not Chris Paul or Halliburton, and I'm finna create for everybody. And another thing is I think when people see KD come on their team, they instantly take the back seat. You've seen it with Steph Curry and them. When the game was on the line, him, Clay, Dre, Kerr, all was looking for him. Everybody, when he shows up in the building, I believe naturally people take the back seat because that is KD, and that's how they play falls.
Then don't you empower, and I'm going to say something, I'm going to say two things, and then Slick, finish it off. I have two thoughts. Number one, the best player, you don't have that luxury. If that's not in your DNA, you don't have that luxury. Quarterbacks, and you know this as a wide receiver, and you know it as a wide receiver, quarterbacks don't have the luxury to be like timid leaders, to be quiet leaders. They don't have it's just not his personality. Find it. The job of a quarterback is to be a galvanizer. You have told me explicitly how Aaron Rodgers will say, hey, Jay, just go make a play. Hey, Jay, Aaron Rodgers wasn't just throwing you beautiful passes. I'm sure Carson Palmer wasn't just throwing you balls. It's also saying stuff to you, texting you the night before. Hey, I trust you can beat Revis on this. Hey, I got to go to you. Hey, T, I'm going to you because Chad going to get double teamed. I got to go to you. So the job of a best player, in my summation and estimation, is to be more than just the talents.
And before Slick goes real quick, I understand that, Acho, but at the same time, I think throwing the ball to somebody is different than you can go get the ball on your own in basketball and do you. You don't need no motivation for somebody to go get. You've been getting a bucket before KD was there. I just don't know how we could blame that on Kevin Durant.
It's not so much getting a bucket, but you said every team he goes to, they look to him. All of us, whether it's our families, whether it's our coworkers, whatever situation we are in, when we're looked to do something, it may not be in our wheelhouse. But if we're asked to do it for the benefit of the group, we're going to try. And that's where I believe that KD has always taken the exit and said, that's not me. I don't do that. Okay, you may not, and it may not come natural to you, but you try because the team is looking to you to be that because of how talented you are. And when you reject doing that, then you leave your team at a loss, and I think it's why you don't see players always be their absolute best with KD. And this is the big difference for me between Steph and KD. If you're just talking about pure talent, I'm always going to KD, pure talent, size, everything that he has, he's a better player than Steph. Steph 10 times is a better leader. He makes those around him better, and he benefits from that. And to me, that is an asset he has that KD does not.
So really quick.
I got to tell you.
Oh, I had a question.
Hey, when we return, what would a Super Bowl ring mean for Josh Allen? He says he has an MVP already, but that wasn't the goal. Josh said himself the goal was Super Bowl. So let's talk about it. If he finally gets it, what would it actually mean? What a show. Hey, it's Tuesday in the facility. Glad y'all are here, family. Don't forget, check us out every day. Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
Hey, Josh Allen said something recently. He was named NFL MVP last season, but he's not satisfied. He said, quote, I still didn't win a Super Bowl. Didn't win a ring, and that is the only goal. TJ, Super Bowl ring. What would that mean for Josh Allen?
It would be about time. He would be on the precipice of being one of the greatest
Yes, sir.
quarterbacks to ever play, he would need to win too. He comes out in the same draft class of another quarterback that really needs a Super Bowl win as well. But Josh Allen, he's 29 years old. So if he can win a Super Bowl at the age of 29, we would assume he'd get another one. He gets another one, he's easily a top 7 quarterback ever.
Ooh.
But he might be the physically most gifted quarterback we've ever seen. Size, speed, power, arm strength. And then you look, everybody said, he got really, really good when Stephon Diggs got there. Then Diggs leaves, it was like, Josh Allen gonna fall off. He got better and won MVP.
Correct.
And so, to me, if Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl, all he does is elevate himself historically.
Yeah.
Where he falls is up for debate. We know some people that think he's gonna be falling pretty well, but he's gonna have to win 2 Super Bowls. There's so many quarterbacks that have won multiple Super Bowls for Josh Allen to leapfrog him. But if he wins a Super Bowl, he's gonna be talked about as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
Yeah, see, I don't view multiple Super Bowl rings as greatness. I don't. Watching Josh Allen with my 2 eyeballs, if Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl, which means he has a Super Bowl and a MVP, Josh Allen will be a top 10 quarterback of all time. Argue with your mama, not me. But one of these dudes would have to come out. One of these dudes will have to come out. I don't care who has to come out, but one of them will have to come out. You got Tom Brady, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and those boys. But Dan Marino, Terry Bradshaw, guys like that, somebody would have to come out of the top 10. If you watch Josh Allen play the game of football, we've never really seen this.
Who you taking out?
He's running.
Who you
He's
taking
passing.
out?
This is 10. This is 10. No, I'm saying this is my 10. So as of right now, I don't have Drew Brees in there. I don't have Steve Young in there. Obviously, some people probably going to be upset. There's some really good quarterbacks that's not on this list. But Josh is too special not to be in the top 10. Josh is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen, added with an MVP, and now you added with a Super Bowl at 29 years old. There is not too many quarterbacks that we've seen that are better than Josh Allen. And I'm not going to sit here and say just because they won some Super Bowls, they better than what we've seen with our own 2 eyes. And I know some people do judge them Super Bowls like that. I don't, because it's a lot of quarterbacks that I would not take over Aaron Rodgers, and I believe my dude next to me, to the right of me, agrees with me too, because he played against Aaron Rodgers and know how special Aaron Rodgers is and was. So them Super Bowls mean something, they do, but with what I've seen with Josh Allen, just the talent on the football field, and now I've seen him carry a team with nothing.
But then here's the interesting, not pushback, but just to elevate the conversation a little bit higher. Super Bowls either matter or they don't. The reason I suggest that is if a Super Bowl doesn't matter that much, in theory, why isn't Josh in your top 10 now? So a Super Bowl is giving Josh Allen enough
Dan
of a bump.
Marino's in the top 10. He didn't win one.
But a Super Bowl is giving Josh enough of a bump to jump Steve Young, enough of a bump to jump Drew Brees to James Jones. But multiple Super Bowls don't mean as much. You would have to offer clarity for me, Jay, because though Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football I have ever seen, I would respect somebody saying Montana's better. Yeah. Brady's better. Pat's better. They got Super Bowls. Because to me, if you win a Super Bowl, and not just like you stumble into a Super Bowl, I'm not talking about a guy that didn't really carry their team there. That has to weigh more.
So with me, I go off of the way it looked and your accomplishments. When you watch Josh Allen right now, you say this is one of the baddest men we've ever seen play the quarterback spot. You say that. Without an MVP, without a Super Bowl, you say that. And now you add that, it's like, man, if he's one of the baddest we've ever seen and now he has a Super Bowl and an MVP, he's better than those dudes. And the reason why I say that is because, let's say like a Joe Flacco. He has a ring over and Dan Marino doesn't. You wouldn't fix your lips to say that.
Of course not.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you've seen Dan Marino play the game of football and it looks totally different. So we're not taking Joe just because he got a ring.
But what about when the gap is smaller, right? Flacco, Marino, they exist on 2 different islands. But what about when the gap is
so who's the gap?
Steve Young and Josh Allen? Now all of a sudden I'm like, well, Young got 2 MVPs.
No, but could I make if I make an argument for Josh Allen, it would be this. Who is he throwing the ball to?
This year.
Last year.
I mean,
If he went to Super Bowl this season and just go through the last however many years,
Yeah, he has some
the
dudes that's trying to
quarterbacks have
prove
usually
themselves.
had a top 10 tight end and or a top 10 receiver. Where we sit today, we can't say that about the Buffalo Bills. So if Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl, he's really the definition of putting a team on my back. Because he doesn't have a Gronkowski like Brady had. He doesn't have a Travis Kelce. He doesn't have a Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have that. And so if he wins a Super Bowl, he really carried the team. Flacco, that defense. And so we've seen instances where quarterbacks, you're like, they won Super Bowl. It was a reason. If they win a Super Bowl, it's because Josh Allen said, get in his backpack, I got y'all.
And really quick, because I should have Steve Young in here. I really should. So let's say I got Steve Young in here and Dan Marino out, and Josh has an MVP and a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is he better than Marino?
Yes, to me. But I value Super Bowl so much because I didn't win one. You won one. Y'all know what it takes.
But right now you have Dan Marino as a top 10 quarterback.
I would, of course. Off talent alone. But as soon as you start adding in the fact of Super Bowls, because to me,
that's why it's a tough conversation.
Like, because it's the same conversation we had with Kevin Durant previously. If you are that good, you would win Super Bowls. Because if we really wanted to be nitpicking, y'all know me, I'm a film snob and a film junkie, I go back and say the game was lost on these decisions. The game was lost on those decisions. Lamar doesn't have a Super Bowl in part because when he saw Josh Allen the first time, he threw a 97-yard pick six. They lost by 13 points. That was a 14-point swing. Lamar would have beat Josh Allen. He would have gone to a championship game. God knows what happens. Lamar didn't get to a Super Bowl this past year because of first half. Second half, he went crazy. Shout out to Lamar Jackson, he went crazy. But a fumble and an interception. Against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game the year before, Lamar Jackson, sack, forced fumble, coming out. Defense only gave up 17 points to the Chiefs. Ravens only scored like 10 or 14. You can go back and say, had the quarterback been better, they would have done it. So, to me, if your quarterback ain't got Super Bowls, I'm always looking like, quarterback, you touch the ball every play.
That's the separator. The Super Bowl is a separator.
Yes.
So
Super
when does the talent and stats part kick in? When does that kick in? Like of the greatest?
I don't know if you go stats.
No, because I'm saying you can't.
Not today's game. It's
one week we got more games.
No, but I mean like how it looks though. Like because it will be tough. Like Cam Newton was special, but Cam Newton wasn't special for a very long time. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not going to have like a bunch of the special stats to go up in there to like back it up without a championship. Josh is. And Josh, we see with our own two eyes how special Josh is. Running, throwing, like we've seen that. And now you add an MVP and a Super Bowl. I don't know how you can put those other quarterbacks in front of him just because of Super Bowls. And you've seen this dude play the game and how talented he is, but he's winning.
But he has to win it all. Because
that's what I'm saying. We're going off of
if he wins it all. If he wins it all, I'm with you. If he wins it all, I'm with you. The how it looks argument is frustrating because sometimes something can look really, really good, and you're like, but where was the final result? Like, how could it look that good? It's the dilemma I have with Aaron Rodgers because Rodgers was so freaking good, and it's like, bro, you only won once?
He was unbelievable.
Rodgers is unbelievable.
But with that,
unbelievable.
Like, who are you taking over 12 though? 12 is 4-time MVP. Super Bowl MVP and a champion. And we're saying, we can argue here that he's probably probably the greatest thrower of the football, one of the most special
guys.
Hey, James.
I'm only taking three guys.
Think about this.
But
you
why
played
though,
with him.
Acho?
You played with him, so you're skewed. But y'all had him every year. Y'all receive, whether it's the quarterback, it's a sit. Man, it's just Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, James Jones, Jordy Nelson,
and running backs.
Like it was like,
they had running backs.
I appreciate y'all giving us the credit. But if without that man there,
agreed.
It ain't happening.
When you look at the quarterback, like Josh Allen, his best receiver going into this season is going to be Khalil Shakir. All respect to him. If you're not a football lover, you don't even know who he is. You don't even know who he is. His tight end is going to be Kincaid and Dawson Knox. If you're not a real football fan, you don't know who they are. And so that's why if Josh Allen can do it with this collection of offensive skilled players.
Can you answer this for me real quick?
sir.
Because I think this will clear it up for the viewers. Because we talked to Aaron Rodgers, and you said you're only taking 3.
I'm taking 3.
And it's way more than 3 that got more championships.
Of course.
Than Rodgers. Why Rodgers?
So the 3 I'm taking ahead of Rodgers,
Peyton.
Mahomes,
Tom.
Peyton. And if somebody wants to say Montana, fine.
So they're going to say, why not Elway, Bradshaw, and those boys?
And that's because now I give him the 4 MVPs. Because truly, what I would do, and I do sometimes, I add up the MVPs plus the Super Bowls. And then I start weighing things out. Tom Brady got more MVPs plus Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers has MVPs plus Super Bowls. So really, I add up both of those.
So
You know why Aaron Rodgers gets
Aaron's in
elevated?
front of Joe for you, because people going to argue that. Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers went crazy.
That's
Do
what
you
I'm
guys
saying.
know why he gets? I'm out in the field with all these young kids and college guys. Aaron Rodgers is a trendsetter.
I'm trying to tell him.
These if you go to the field, when we leave this show, I'm going to the field. Everybody is trying to throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers. All the kids in high school, all the kids in college, even the guys in the league.
Come on.
The way that he throws a football. At one point, it was, your feet got to be planted on the ground, and Aaron Rodgers is coming from the hip. Everybody has mimicked Aaron Rodgers' throwing style. That's why he gets elevated, because everybody now is looking to him. I want to throw the ball like that guy.
You always welcome.
Hey, when we return, speaking of people wanting to mimic an individual, SGA, can he become the face of the league where the whole world is trying to mimic him? Now that he's won a finals MVP, a regular season MVP, a title, can SGA be the next face of the NBA? That's next in the facility.
When you're separating from the military, no one tells you how hard it can be to get your civilian life up to speed. But with VA benefits, it doesn't have to be. From the VA home loan requiring no down payment, to the GI Bill covering tuition, books, and cost of living, to VA healthcare offering top-ranked, low-cost care designed specifically for veterans, all the support you need is at VA. I'm here telling every veteran because I wish someone had told me, get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
SGA already won regular season MVP, and then 2 days ago, he won finals MVP as well. His teammate, Alex Caruso, he took it a step further, saying, quote, as far as the face of the league, best player on the best team, he, SGA, has got that capability. Rick, you've covered the league for a long time. You've watched the face transition. This might be the most polarizing topic that we'll talk about all summer. SGA, now that he's won the finals MVP, regular season MVP, is he in the face of the league conversation?
No, he's not in the conversation. He is the face of the league right now.
Oh, my God.
Break that down.
Oh, slick.
We just watched him as league MVP. We saw him a championship. This is the guy that we're looking at. This is the guy that we are. Let me flip it around. When you close your eyes and you think about the league right now, whose face is the first face you see? It's that one right there.
A couple of them.
I mean, it's not complicated. When I think about the NBA and who is at the top of the pyramid right now, and who defines the NBA, look, is Steph Curry still popular? Is LeBron James still polarizing? Sure. But when I'm thinking about the NBA and where it is right now, SGA, that's the first face that comes to mind. Who else would it be?
So that's how you define face of the league?
Yeah.
Kind of who's the face that
It's pretty simple. When I think of the NBA and where it is right this moment, who's the first player I think of? It's SGA. All the conversation is around him. What's the meaning of this this season that he had? Where do we rank him?
Okay.
All of that.
Let's fast forward 3 months, 4 months. All the conversations around him because he was the last man standing and one of the 2 last men standing.
That's why.
But when we start the league again in October and when we really started in November, I do not know that SGA will be the focal point. I think the focal point in the storylines will go back to Kevin Durant and the Rockets, what's going to happen there, LeBron James and Luka Doncic, what's going to happen there, and Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, what's going to happen there. I think SGA is a beneficiary of being the best player currently playing in the league, but he's dominating conversation. I don't think because he's a face, because he's the last man standing.
But won't all of the conversation with all those others be framed around, can SGA beat them or can they beat SGA? He's going to be at the heart of the conversation, however we look at it. We're not suddenly going to move him to the side. The question is going to be, okay, how good are the Oklahoma City Thunder really? How good is SGA really? I know he did it. I know they did it. But can they do it again? That is going, to me, that's where we're going to go.
SGA's playing opening night. The Lakers are playing opening night. The Warriors are playing opening night. The Rockets are playing opening night. I'll ask you one question. I'll ask you one question. All 4 of those teams are playing on opening night. There's two-parter.
They playing different teams?
Who playing different teams.
Okay.
What game you watching, and then what game you think is being broadcast nationally. Rockets are playing with Kevin Durant. Warriors are playing with Steph Curry. The Lakers are playing with LeBron James. The Thunder are playing with...
It's not fair, one, because Oklahoma City...
You're not watching the face of the NBA right there.
What game you watching?
I'm watching KD.
Okay.
I'll answer first. I'm watching KD and them Rockets.
And then who do you think the league is? Who do you think the world is watching? Who's being broadcast?
It's going to be Brown and them Lakers and Luka.
You guys are cheating.
I'm just asking you a question, Split.
Cheating. No, but there's more intrigue there. There's more questions.
There shouldn't be, because
what are the Lakers going to look like?
There shouldn't be.
What's KD going to look like with the Rockets?
If we flip it, right? If the Chiefs are playing on opening night and anybody else is playing, the world is watching the Chiefs. If Serena Williams was playing, the world was watching Serena. Yeah. If Tiger is golfing, the world's watching Tiger. Yeah. If Lionel Messi's playing in the World Cup, the world's watching Messi. If
LeBron just won a championship, the world watching Brown.
The face is always the face.
Are we watching, but again, are we watching the Lakers and LeBron and Luka because we think that they're the best or because they're the most intriguing?
Because it's LeBron James.
Because it's LeBron James.
That's what you do if you're the face.
Because it's Steph Curry.
I would not be watching, at this stage, I will say, I would not be watching the Lakers because of LeBron James. I might be watching the Lakers because of Luka Doncic, and does he come back in shape? Mm-hmm. With Kevin Durant, how does Kevin Durant fit with the Houston Rockets? So there's a question that I have that I need answered. That's why I would be watching.
It's fascinating, James. Where you
I just think faces of the NBA, you don't got to argue. Mm-hmm. Faces of
so who is it?
I'm just saying, when it was Magic and Bird, you didn't have to argue. It was their league. When it went to Mike, we didn't have to argue. When it went to Bron, we didn't have to argue. This man ain't no face of the NBA.
Maybe not on that level.
And I kind of agree with Shady, because he be with the Americans. You know what I'm saying? But if we were going to make SGA the face of the league, we would have already made Joker the face of the league. You an MVP, you a champion, and he's still not the face of the league. Slick, when I do close my eyes, I don't think of SGA. I think of Bron, I think of Steph, I think of Joker, I think of KD before I think of SGA. He is not the face of the league right now. If he was the face of the league, this would not even be argued. Now, he is fresh on our minds because he just played in the NBA Finals. Okay. He won the MVP, and he just won the Finals MVP as well. But to say he's the face of the NBA over the likes of Steph Curry, LeBron James, and the Kevin Durants and the Jokers, I cannot say that right now. Now, he's the freshest on our mind, but he is not the face of the NBA. And I think the face of the NBA, we don't have one right now. I don't think so.
Okay.
And I think it's going to take a couple more years and chips for SGA or somebody else to take control.
That's where I'm at. If SGA wins another one next year, All-NBA first team, another regular season MVP, another NBA championship, like what LeBron was doing when LeBron became the face, like what Kobe was doing when Kobe became the face. Kobe won 3 and then he won 2 back-to-back. I don't think one has ever made anyone the face. Even Jordan, Jordan, there was a build, then probably after his first or his second, but he had a lot of stuff beforehand. I don't know if one chip, even Mahomes wasn't the face after 2019.
Yeah.
Nah, Mahomes had to, boom, by 2021, Mahomes, you're in, Brady, you're out, right. Mahomes is the face.
Well, so I'm not going to put Shea being the face of the league on the same level that LeBron was or Michael was at this point.
Oh, that's
right?
Possible.
But I would say by default, as of right now, he's the face of the league, simply because there's nobody else that I can put there. Who else? We're going to have a debate. Who else is in the debate right now?
You got Joker in the debate. I think Steph.
No, you know what? Here's the distinction I would make is is I think that Joker did, and you're right, based on accomplishment, you would think, well, why wasn't Jokic when he won a championship and he was the league MVP? And I do think there is a certain element of being foreign that influences that. And SGA is Canadian, but you have to be reminded that he's Canadian, right? He doesn't feel Canadian to me. He carries himself just like a basketball player. There's no overarching feel like, oh, he's not from here. He's not part of the NBA culture, right? So that's where I think that there's a distinction where it's okay, he's not American, but he feels American. He feels American enough.
And that's a solid point, but you don't think the excitement matters? Because like when you tuned in to watch Mike, you knew the excitement was coming with it. When you tune in to watch Steph, even though he ain't dunking, you know the excitement that's coming with it. Bron, you know the excitement.
Yeah.
Like, when you tune in to Shea, it's not the excitement.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's why I think we all said we're gonna watch them other 4 games because we think those is gonna be more exciting.
I would also say SGA doesn't necessarily play like a tantalizing, exciting brand of basketball. He's lethal from the mid-range. The mid-range isn't exciting. He's not a lethal three-point shooter. He's not a lethal flyer. He don't sky through the air. Like his brand of ball isn't exciting. Last thought, Slick.
And you need that for.
But I think that's where the league is right now. I think we're in this transition period where we're looking for what's the next iteration of the league. How is the game going to be played? What we've seen is teams that are successful. It isn't just the star power. He and the Oklahoma City Thunder reflect where the league is right now and the style of play and what makes you successful. And so for that reason, that is a point in his favor. He reflects and represents where the league is right now. That, to me, defines face of the league.
That's fascinating. Incredibly well said. Hey, speaking of fascinating, when we return, where do the Thunder rank amongst the last 7 champions? Responding and reacting to Colin Cowherd's list, probably the most intriguing list you have seen as a ranking in this year of any sports list. We'll respond to it and react to it. That's next.
Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Hey, we all know Thunder are the champs. The champs are here. But it's also the 7th straight season that we got a different team to win a title. It's fascinating. Even more fascinating, our own Colin Cowherd, he ranked the last 7 NBA champions. It kicked up a lot of dust on social media, so we wanted to bring it here to you. Some surprising features. The Bubble Lakers 2020 were Colin's first champion over the last 7 years. Then you got the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Bucks, followed by this year's champ, the Thunder, actually ranking him the 6th, and then the 19 Raptors, which beat a maligned Golden State Warriors team. I think we all unanimously agree the Raptors at number 7, but Slick, you already talked to Colin about this previously. Yeah. Share your thoughts here with us on this show. I was most surprised you could suggest by seeing the Lakers at number 1.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank Colin, as I thanked you, for giving us material to discuss at this time of year. And his list really isn't, it's pretty good. He just has one major flaw.
Which is?
And that's the number 1 team. Like, the rest of the order is I can pretty much agree with it. I just would have that Lakers bubble team somewhere between 5th and 6th, maybe 4th, but somewhere at that end of the spectrum as opposed to being the number 1 team, considering all the circumstances involved.
I could make a case, and I've tried to make this case, because when I look at that list, at first I was like, wait a second, what is this? Then I said, you know what? That Lakers championship team, I don't think gets enough respect. The reason I don't think they get enough respect is because a healthy Anthony Davis is a different type of player, and he was healthy that year because he had those 4 months rest. And then you have a LeBron James, not a prime LeBron James, I don't believe, but you still have a LeBron James who knows more than anybody on any of the other championship teams how to get it done, and you had LeBron also on 4 months rest. Couple that with a team that was actually well constructed. You think about Dwight Howard, you had the big. Alex Caruso, you just saw what he was capable of doing. That was an even younger Alex Caruso. You had shooting because I think you had KCP, plus you had Danny Green. You had athleticism because you had Kyle Kuzma. You still had veteran backups because you had a Rondo. That team was actually incredibly well constructed. Star players, athleticism, size, three-point shooting, and LeBron James. So I wanted to push back, but then I thought about it and I said, wait a second. The Lakers might be, or at least have a very strong argument to be the best championship team over the last 7 years.
They definitely had a good team, but I can't get my, like the bubble. That's all I think about. Like, you don't have to deal with no home crowds. You don't have to go on the road. That matters, though.
But here is why I hate this argument. I argued this with Rick before the show. I could make the case that the bubble is the greatest championship because what is sports? And we all played sports on here. You played professionally for however many years. I played for however many years. Slick, you've watched the game for countless years. Sports is arbitrary. We decided to take a football and say we're going to put yard marks every 5 yards. We're going to make it 53 1/3 wide, 120 long if you include the 10-yard end zones. We're going to put these yellow-shaped things, and you got to kick it here. Now, if you kick it between it, it's 3 points. If you kick it after a touchdown, it's 1 point. Sports is arbitrary. The bubble was the most arbitrary conglomerate of sports we've seen.
Yeah.
We removed the fans. We removed the family. We put you in a random city. We put you in a hotel. If you leave, you had to quarantine. If you got sick, you had to quarantine. You can't go to weddings. You better not go to a strip club, Lemon Pepper Lou. And that was the ultimate championship ever because that was sports, James. It was like, we're just going to throw stuff at an athlete, and they're going to have to adjust on the fly.
It might be you and one other person in the world that thinks like that right there. Fans and all that matter. The pressure and all that matters. It's no fans or none of that there. You can't tell me that this series that we just watched goes 7 in the bubble. It's probably 4-1 Thunder if it's in the bubble. You have no fans. You have no pressure. You have no nothing. It's just you and the other dudes there walking around Disney World. What up, bruh? That's, to me, respect to the Lakers for winning that. But when I seen the Celtics and the Nuggets and the Warriors and Giannis and them Bucks and all, I can't put the Lakers up there at 1. Now, the Lakers is in there somewhere. I put them down there at, like Slick said, between 5 and 6, but they can't go in there. To me, they didn't go through no adversity. You didn't have to get on no plane and go play no road games. You didn't have to do none of that. Who knows how Anthony Davis and them boys would play? I don't. I humbly do not give a lot of respect like you do to that bubble championship. I don't. I don't know about Slick.
Yeah. No, let's spin out your theory, right?
That was something.
Can we see the list again for viewers that are just tuning in? Colin Cowherd ranked his last 7 champions. Let's see that list again.
And your suggestion is that the Lakers championship is the greatest ever because the circumstances were unexpected.
Is that what you're
saying?
saying?
And they responded
Not the greatest. Of the last 7 years, you could make that case. That's a case that I'm more than willing to listen to. And if someone wanted me to make it, I'd stand side by side with them. And I could be like, you know what? I'll hear that.
So if we could take that to the extreme and say, you know what? We're going to take all these teams and now we're going to play Ultimate Frisbee. Because that's completely unexpected. And you were the Ultimate Frisbee champion. You were the greatest champion of the last 7 years because you responded to unexpected circumstances.
That's sports.
Better than anybody else.
When I was talking to a Hall of Fame coach and they told me the thing I tell my team before every game is, can you deal with sudden change? Can you deal with random events? And can you deal with adversity? Those are like his 3 things. Random event. Your star quarterback gets hurt in the middle of the second quarter. Sudden change. James Jones catches a pass. He's about to score. Fumble. Oh, you thought you were about to score. Now sudden change. And then adversity, you're down 14-0 after the first 6 minutes of the game. The bubble gave you all of that. That 2020 Lakers team, James, what do we want to do when we want to ice out a kicker? We tell everybody to get quiet or we tell everybody to make noise? What do we do when we were working out in college? The strength coach will blow the whistle. Beep, sudden change, everybody outside. Sports is all about having to deal with adversity, and the Lakers did that better than anybody. Plus, you had LeBron. And you had AD?
And but you prepare for that. You prepare for those unexpected circumstances. And you're still playing the game. And you build your team with the idea of we're going to be able to respond to these different circumstances. The bubble presented circumstances that no one building their team or preparing their team would have anticipated.
So then who's your champ?
So you had teams that were better suited for it, but they just luckily.
Who's your best team in the last 7 years? Of the different seven champions?
Boston Celtics.
2024 Celtics.
Yeah, just top to bottom, talent-wise, and what they were able to get done. I put them there.
Yeah, I would put the Celtics. I would definitely move the Lakers. I would put the Celtics at 1. I like them Nuggets. I might even put the Bucks, because what the Bucks did in 2021, I might move them up to in front of the Warriors at 4.
But it's close.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the list makes a ton of sense.
With all that funny business you just said, because like when that's what I be telling my kids. All that funny stuff you just told me right now of why you didn't make the play. Because when people hear 2020, they instantly don't say, man, that was the greatest. That was the greatest. No fans, no this. Man, that Brian and them got that in the bubble. That's what they say. That's what the normal people say. All right, so with your list, where are you putting the Lakers at?
Realistically speaking, I'm either putting the Celtics at 1 probably, or I'm putting the Bucks at 1. I think that Bucks team.
Forget the other team. Where are you moving them Lakers to?
I'd probably put them at 3. Like, if I'm creating the list, I'd probably just put the Lakers.
So you got Celtics 1?
Probably Celtics 1, Bucks 2, Lakers 3, Nuggets 4, Warriors 5, Thunder 6.
You mean to tell me that Curry run in 2022? That Laker bubble was better?
But here's why. Because we have to remember that Curry run, we call it a Curry run. Jordan Poole led him through the first series and a half.
Warriors team.
That Warriors team wasn't a great team.
Exactly.
It wasn't a great team. I refuse to believe that LeBron James, peak AD, healthy AD, is going to be taken down and outmanned by Steph Curry and Wiggins. I just refuse to believe that. And Draymond Green. I refuse to believe that.
And Clay.
If you want to tell, Clay wasn't really, he wasn't
LeBron
getting active
has
at all.
been beat by them boys.
If you wanted to tell me that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew, if you want to tell me they were going to do it, I say bet. If you want to even tell me that Giannis was going to do it, Giannis and Middleton and Drew, I'd say cool. If you wanted to convince me the Nuggets were going to do it, but there is no way on this beautiful earth that we walk on that Steph Curry 2022 team is going to make a legitimate move.
And yet,
with Kevin Durant.
And yet, they beat the core of the Boston Celtics team that we're all putting.
I know, which is fascinating.
Right?
Talk to him.
Well, I think that's an indictment on us putting the Celtics at 1. I think on paper the Celtics were really good, but like were the Celtics as good as mentally here? Not physically, talent-wise.
In 2024 they were. That's why you put them there, because you added a Drew Holiday, because you added a Kristaps.
That matters.
So that puts the 2020. I'm not putting the 2023 team there, but the Warriors, we can discount them not knowing what Jordan Poole was or giving him credit for his contribution or Andrew Wiggins or all that. I just think if we're going to look at what by the same token, if you're going to say, you know what made the Lakers special was because they were a team. Mm-hmm. Well, the Golden State Warriors in 2022 were a team.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They came together and everybody contributed. And Steph more than anybody else. I know about how he prepped for that season to come back after 2 seasons down. I give him more credit for that championship than any of the others because I know how hard it was.
Yeah. Acho really didn't mean that, y'all. I see his coffee over here. He usually don't drink coffee.
When we return, the NBA season is officially over. So how do we feel about the big name teams after the break? Emoji Mayhem, people, if you have tuned into the facility, this is the highlight of every show. You do not want to miss it. If you walk away, you better make sure you run back. It's next in the facility. The NBA season is over, and now we are looking forward to what is next. So how do we feel about a few teams heading into the offseason? We'll show you in Emoji Mayhem, starting with the Lakers, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. We know they lost in the first round of the playoffs. So TJ, using emojis and emojis only, how are you feeling about the Lakers heading into the offseason?
I'm nervous.
Nervous.
Man, I'm nervous. We need to, the Lakers, We need to acquire more talent. So that makes me nervous because we need some guys to come in and help us.
Sweat. I'm sweating. And I'm sweating for two reasons. Luka Doncic, you better be sweating because you need to be getting in shape. So that's the first reason I'm sweating. The second reason I'm sweating is Lakers. Y'all got a lot of pressure this offseason. You got a lot of pressure going into this season. I'm sweating.
Yeah, I'm sleeping. They're stuck between the Luka era and the LeBron era until they figure out and move off of one and get fully into the other. Nothing to see here, folks.
I'm thinking. Because I want to believe like Luka and Bron gonna make a run and get back to the playoffs. But then again, I sit here thinking like, the West is getting stronger. Can they make a push?
Let's take a look at the fans. The fans, they're thinking as well. 31% overwhelmingly thinking. Fans side with James Jones on that one. Hey, moving on to Dallas. The Mavericks, they got the number 1 overall pick. Expected to draft Cooper Flagg. But Kyrie Irving, he tore his ACL this season. Anthony Davis, he's supposed to bounce back. TJ, how are we feeling about my hometown, the Dallas Mavericks?
I see you, T. Let me rock with you there.
Go ahead and put my Lokes on.
Yeah, Lokes up.
Feeling really good. I got the number 1 pick. Kyrie gonna be back mid-season with AD. We just re-signed Daniel Gafford to an extension. I'm feeling real good. I'm cooling.
Yeah. Let's cut straight to James, man.
Yeah, you see me with my Lokes on. Yeah. You see me with oh, that's Acho. I'm like, no, I'm cool right now. You know what I'm saying? Number 1 pick, Kyrie will be back. AD, we looking cool over there.
You know what I'm doing. I'm thinking, so Slick, where you at?
I'm nervous because for all the reasons that you guys said, but they got to make good on it. Cooper Flagg's got to be that. No.
Go ahead and put your Lokes on.
At best.
There you go.
The fans, they sleep. They sleeping.
Yeah, they sleeping on the Mavs.
They really sleeping.
I get it. All right, let's move on to the Rockets. Kevin Durant joining a team that was the number 2 seed. TJ, how you feeling about the Rockets heading into the offseason?
I got to salute them. The Rockets,
I like
to me,
that one.
with that team, with KD, sky the limit.
There's only one right answer. There is only one right answer. If you're not nervous, you lying to yourself. Kevin Durant joined the Nets team, and we thought they were going to be great. They weren't. He joined the Suns team. We thought they were going to be great. They missed the playoffs. The Rockets could win a chip, or they could miss the playoffs. Remember, Kevin Durant's only won 2 playoff series since he last won with the Warriors in 2019. 2 series. And now you think he's about to win 4 and win a championship?
He's going to win 2 this next season.
I'm nervous.
No, that's correct. You are nervous because he actually might get it done there. And then what are we going to say? No, I am, I have to salute this because I don't know, I'm not on the bandwagon the way that my man TJ is, but they are going to be better.
Yeah. I got nose breathing. They gonna be a tough outing. They gonna be a tough outing for everybody. And when they pull up on you, they gonna pull up on you just like that because they got a walking bucket on their team right now.
Looks like the fans rocking with your boy. Fans are nervous as well. I understand, fans. I understand. Let's move on to this. Is a fun one. The New York Knicks, they still do not have a head coach. Eastern Conference Finals this past year, they lost to the Pacers in 6. Thibodeau was fired. TJ, how you feeling, Knicks?
They that little baby diaper, little poop in the baby diaper. That's the Knicks. What y'all doing? Like, what are y'all doing?
That might be the first poop we got, though. That might be the first poop
That's
we
what
use,
they
man.
That's great usage.
Oh, my goodness.
I am laughing.
Why are you laughing at the Knicks?
I'm belly laughing. How y'all ain't got a coach?
Dang.
Like, y'all still ain't got a coach. Like, y'all still do not have a coach. Why? I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm laughing. Thank you. I'm laughing. I'm crying for Knicks fans. Sorry, Colin, but I'm laughing myself.
Yeah, I go poop, but I just don't like to see poop streaming down next to me. So I'm going to go angry because, look, you had a team that just went to the conference finals, and you've completely kicked the can when it comes to picking a new coach. I don't have a problem with you moving on from Tom Thibodeau, but have a plan. They didn't have one.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Slick. I'm angry, and it's kind of like when I'm angry at my kids in public. Get them. What did y'all do? What is y'all doing? That's how I feel about the Knicks. What is y'all doing, man? Come on, man.
The fans are overwhelmingly. This is a landslide. Nearly
T, they rocking with T.
Rocking with TJ. Just straight.
I don't need that poop going over me.
Emoji. That might be the most dominating vote we've ever had in the history of the facility.
Yeah.
Hey, last, the reigning champs, the OKC Thunder. T, how you feeling about the Thunder?
Congratulations.
Everybody
Salute them.
Okay, there you go.
They
That's
did
a good
a hell
one,
of a
too.
job winning this. We give them a salute, and they get the low.
There you go.
I see
With
you.
you on
Boy, that
that.
boy look like CB4. No.
I'm here with it.
There it is.
I'm here with it.
Oh,
I'm here with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That boy
Shades on.
Yeah,
They
he
won it. They
That's
won
the R&B
shit.
singer Acho right
Yeah,
there.
He look straight out of Compton.
Well, yeah, Slick. Okay.
I see you, Slick.
Congratulations, face of the
Everybody
league,
cool.
SGA. I'm right there with you, bro.
I see you, Slick. I see you, Slick. Everybody should have these on, though. Star eyes, for sure, man. We champions. We champions. We finna have a parade. Everybody should go get these or some lokes on, and they should be having fun at the parade.
Let's see where the fans is at. Fans got the glasses on, baby.
There we go.
I see it, baby. Fans, you right there with us. Hey, that was fun. That's my most fun segment of the show. Hey, when we return, KD headed to Houston, as we have discussed. But why? Why will his time with the Rockets be different? Why will it be different this time around for KD, the guard? That's next. Kevin Durant headed to the Rockets in a blockbuster trade. That will mark the fifth team of Kevin Durant's career. He's won 2 NBA titles, but he hasn't gotten past the second round since 2019. Rick, why will this year with KD in Houston be different than Phoenix missed the playoffs, be different than the Nets won a playoff series or 2? Why will this tenure be different?
One, because I fully expect them to make the playoffs. I don't know where exactly, but I expect them to be a playoff team. And 2, it's probably the closest thing he's had since he left Golden State to the environment and the circumstance that allowed him to be at his best. You have an established culture. You have an established no-nonsense coach. You have an established leadership in Fred VanVleet on the floor. And perhaps most important, you have a need specifically for Kevin Durant's ability. Like, when he went to Brooklyn, that was just an experiment. And Kyrie and then James Harden, like, you're sharing the load for what KD does. Phoenix, same sort of thing with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. It was an embarrassment of riches in a particular area. With this team, they have all the other pieces. Now, KD, just go and do what you do.
That's well said.
Be what you can be. We've got everything else handled.
That's well said, Slick.
What do you got, Jay?
I agree with Slick. I mean, and I'm going to start with the head coach. I think he's going to take control of this thing and have these dudes playing a certain type of way. And then not only that, just fit. I feel like this is probably the best fit for Kevin Durant. You got dudes around you that are going to defend their butts off. You got a really good point guard in Fred. You are coming there to do what you do. That is get the ball on the block and go to work, shoot the 3. But the way this team is constructed, this team with Kevin Durant should be different. This is not like the Suns team or that Brooklyn team. This is a totally different team. This is a team, to be honest with you, that's ready to go compete for a championship the way they are constructed. And they showed you last year the type of talent that they had. And now you basically trade Jalen Green for the guard, KD. Come on, man. It should be different.
I think it'll be different because what Kevin Durant lacks, the Rockets have in excess. Kevin Durant does not want to be a leader. He said it in 2017, notably, not my words, his. When he was playing with the Warriors, he said, I don't want to be a leader. The problem is Kevin Durant, most times the best player has to be a leader in order to win a championship. That's the unwritten rules of being the best player on a team, of which James says KD's always been the best. But Ime Udoka is the ultimate leader. Plus, if you're going to retain Fred VanVleet, you also have somebody who's played a long time who knows how to win a championship. When KD went to the Suns, they had no leader. They had no leadership. Didn't have leadership on the court, didn't have leadership off the court, especially after Monty Williams was run out the building. When KD went to the Nets, obviously had no leader. Not in Harden, not in Kyrie. And Kyrie notably, I think, went on Instagram Live with KD and said, I don't even want to coach. Maybe it was flippantly, maybe it was in jest, but he said it nonetheless. When going to the Rockets, you have leadership. And I believe the delta between Kevin Durant and a championship has never been talent. The delta between Kevin Durant and a championship has been leadership. That's the gap.
But he's going to have to.
Well,
he's going to have to be a leader.
If he's going to have to,
room.
James, I don't think they're going to win a championship. The only time he's ever won a championship was on a team with Steve Kerr and Draymond Green as ultimate leaders. But if he has to be a leader, they're not winning a championship.
But not only that, though, like with Kevin Durant, I could see you not wanting to be a leader in those places because you like, I don't got to do that. You can't, Steph. You can't, Devin Booker. Why you need me to do it? You a superstar, too. You can't, Kyrie. Walking into this Rockets locker room, and respect to Fred, but Kevin Durant is the dude they gonna be. What should we do? What? That's the dude they gonna be looking at. He's going to have to lead. If this team is going to go far, he's going to have to change those habits as a leader because you're walking into a locker room that doesn't have a Booker or a Curry or a Draymond or a Clay or a Harden or a Kyrie. You're walking into a young locker room, and yes, the coach can be a leader because it starts with the coach, but he don't play.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to start. I don't think they're going to start with looking at KD first because you've already established, let's face it, might have only been 52 wins, but they were the second best team in the league last year without KD. Fred VanVleet was the floor leader on that team. He does have a ring to his name. He won that ring at the expense of KD. And you have Ime Udoka who runs the show. So I think with that team, the way they're constituted, it's going to be, okay, what are we going to do? And they're going to look at Ime, they're going to look at Fred, and then they're going to look at KD because KD is going to be at the heart of what they do.
I disagree with that, Slick. Only reason I disagree with that is I've been in locker rooms where if you enter a superstar talent, I'm just, even if I'm not looking at you to lead, I'm looking at you.
Like, yes.
Like, you here now, so like, let me see, I'm looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, when I got to Philly, I'm looking at Vic.
All right.
I'm looking at Shady. I've heard about Jason Peters. I've heard about D-Jack because I came from Cleveland. So I'm like, okay, let me. I heard about you, 2-5. Let me see what it's about.
That's fine. But, but you think that those young boys, after Ime Udoka had the influence that he had on that team last year, are going to look at KD before they look at Ime Udoka?
No.
That ain't happening.
No. I said it starts with the coach.
Yeah.
I'm talking about players-wise. Yeah. As players, you are going to KD before you go to Fred. Coach-wise, yes, that's the message, right? Mike McCarthy, boom, he was the message.
Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers and Charles Woodson, when they said something,
I'll give you that.
It was different because of the stardom and all that and what they were.
Here's the tension for me with all of this, James, is this is the dilemma with KD for the last 17 years. If you're looking at KD to lead, I'm sorry, you will be vastly disappointed.
No, I'm not.
If you're looking at him for a bucket, you're going to get the bucket and some because he's one of the greatest players of all time. But, James, don't get your hopes up. Yeah, KD is not only proven to not be a leader, he's vocalized he doesn't want to be a leader.
I understand that, but my hopes are up because he hasn't had to be. He hasn't.
James, everywhere you go, if you're the best player, you have to be.
But listen what I'm saying, though. Even if you are the best player talent-wise and you're sitting in the meeting room and it's Steph Curry and it's Klay Thompson and it's Draymond Green, naturally you can say, yeah, I'm the best player, but they can lead.
James,
what about Phoenix?
I think he's cool with other people leading. You can't be cool with other people leading in Houston. You have to be the dude.
If you go, Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest players of all time. He's joining the Steelers this year. I would suggest the Steelers have a Mike Tomlin, ultimate leader. Cam Hayward, ultimate leader. T.J. Watt, ultimate leader. Back end Minkah Fitzpatrick, ultimate leader. Aaron Rodgers is going to go in there and he's going to lead that goddamn thing because he is a leader. He's Aaron Rodgers. Kevin Durant, I don't care if you was there with Steph and Dre. I don't care if you was there with Book and Beal. I don't care if you was there with Kyrie and James Harden. Leaders lead. When DeMeco Ryans came to Philly, he was DeMeco Ryans. I don't care if you're there with Trent Cole, who's in the Hall of Fame, and Shady McCoy, who's in the Hall of Fame, Eagles Hall of Fame, Jason Peters, who might go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. DeMeco's DeMeco.
And I'm glad
he leads.
And I'm glad you said that because my years in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers being the MVP and a bad man, you know who the leader was?
Probably C. Wood.
Charles Woodson.
No doubt.
So what I'm saying
and Rodgers on offense, though, was a leader.
But that doesn't mean that Rodgers wasn't a leader. But he was okay because he's like, I don't got to speak up and be a leader right now because I know Wood can do that. Now, when you know you're the only one sitting in there and these young fellas is looking up to you gotta be that dude.
Explain like Rick said. Phoenix, nobody was leading, and Brooklyn was. But Booker wasn't. Booker's not Charles Woodson.
He wasn't.
He's not Charles Woodson.
This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Those are superstar, all-star players, is what I'm saying. So I can see KD's personality saying, "Well, why ain't you saying nothing, Booker? You like that too." All I'm saying in Houston, you can't sit back and say, "Why ain't you saying nothing, Amir?" Mm-hmm. Fred, I know you a champion. Why ain't you saying? They're not on the level that this dude is. And I know Fred is respected, but I'm just saying when certain dudes walk in the building, whether you want a chip or not, they're respected differently.
It's true, but there's also, I mean, this is a nuanced subject because you have leaders who aren't necessarily the best player. I mean,
that is a true fact.
When LeBron was in Cleveland the first time around, the best player on that team, but he was not the leader of that team simply because he didn't have the experience and he didn't have the gravitas and he wasn't. Miami, when he first got there, still say he's the best player. Dwayne Wade was the leader of that team when he first got there. So there is circumstance. My concern is, because you're automatically saying that KD is going to step into those shoes.
I think
there was opportunity for him to step in those shoes in other places where it was needed.
He never did.
And he never did. So maybe he will.
And hopefully he does.
Hopefully he does.
And if he does, that'll rewrite everything for me.
Right.
But you guys don't think.
I'm not guaranteed.
But
there's
y'all
no reason
don't think
for me to believe that he will.
I truly believe Kevin Durant understands situations that he's going into and when it's time to say something. Like when I left the Packers and went to
these people are blinded by Kevin Durant. People want to believe what they want to believe, not what you see.
I was never a big talker. I was always like, man, my work is gonna show. When I left the Packers and went to the Raiders, C. Will was on defense, but I was the vet on the offense. Now I'm like, I gotta say something. Mm-hmm. I gotta, because I knew the situation that I was going into. Aaron Rodgers ain't here no more. We got a young Derek Carr. He's a rookie. I have to say something. So I gotta be the one at this time to rally the troops and certain things like that because I'm the veteran on the squad now. There is no Greg Jennings and all.
Did you recognize that as a result of the team and where it was going and realize that there was a vacuum and you had to step into it?
Yeah, and I knew that it was nobody else that
there was a vacuum with the Phoenix Suns.
Correct.
There was a vacuum with the Brooklyn Nets.
Correct.
But why not you say nothing, Booker?
No.
That's all I'm saying.
At the point in which he didn't
then it's
up.
like, well, then I got to.
How you know he didn't?
You gonna wait 82 games to just like?
How you know Booker?
Because of where that team went.
Exactly right. Hey, speaking of championships, Josh Allen says he's trying to get to one, but Lamar Jackson is as well. Hey, who wins the ring first between these two phenoms? Y'all think it's Lamar or y'all think it's Josh? Can't wait for this discussion. Josh Allen, he won NFL MVP this past season, but Lamar Jackson on the year before. Josh Allen said the only goal is to win a Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson has stated much of the same. But Lamar and Josh both looking for their first trips to the big game. James Jones, who will win a ring first? Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Don't be in too much turmoil.
Man. I'm going to go Lamar. And I'm going to go Lamar strictly because I believe Lamar has the better team. Mm-hmm. And I think Lamar has had the better teams. And at one point, I think the Lamar Jackson from the regular season, the MVP Lamar Jackson is going to show up consistently in these playoffs. And if he does, I think they beat down teams in the playoffs. I'm still waiting on that guy from the regular season to show up consistently in the playoffs. But when he does, they're going to beat people down, and I think he gets to that game. But his team is just so much better than Josh Allen's team, and I'm going to say he elevates his game this season in the playoffs and gets his team to that Super Bowl. I'm a rock with Lamar, but this is very, very, very close.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. You know what gets me in the most trouble on television?
What's that?
I don't, cater my takes to, friends. I don't cater my takes to a community, one way or the other. I just look at facts. I look at numbers. I look at stats. I look at film, and I give y'all the truth. If you look at the numbers of the playoffs between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Oh, don't show it, dog. It's not close.
Touchdowns, Josh Allen, 32. Turnovers, 6. Touchdowns, Lamar Jackson, 13, giveaways 11. Completion percentage, passer rating. These are total touchdowns, too. I'm including rushing as well. Keep in mind, 2 of Lamar Jackson's losses, so 2 of those numbers that come from the 5 column on 3 and 5, are at the helm of Josh Allen. 2 of Lamar Jackson's wins, those 2 that come at that 7 number, are due to beating Lamar Jackson. If you switch those, Lamar Jackson would have a 5-3 playoff record, and Josh Allen would have a 5-6, 5-8 playoff record. I say that to say the reason Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson in the playoffs is in large part because Josh Allen has beaten Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. It's not like these 2 teams have faced off separately. Josh Allen is a significantly better playoff performer than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, I believe, is a better, not significantly, is a better regular season performer than Josh Allen. So based upon all the data that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have supplied us, it would be either ignorant or negligent to suggest that Lamar Jackson's going to win first, based on the data we know now. If James Jones has been talking to Miss Cleo and has a fortune ball, that's on Jay. But based on what we've seen, it's not close.
I guess I'm breaking the tie.
Come on.
And I'm
to the dark side.
I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
I'm to the dark side.
And this is the biggest reason why.
What?
Is early
There's no
on,
reason.
no, early on, Lamar Jackson didn't have the firepower that he has now. He didn't have that. And as he has evolved as a quarterback, I felt last year was the best version of Lamar Jackson that we had ever seen. Running, throwing. We hadn't seen that version of Lamar. He's only getting better. And not only is he
What's
getting
Josh
better,
Allen getting?
he's getting better players around him. They signed DeAndre Hopkins. He'd probably be the best receiver with the Buffalo Bills. They signed Jair Alexander.
Hopkins? We're bragging about DeAndre Hopkins right now?
He would be the best receiver on the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's what they said about Amari Cooper, by the way. Go ahead.
They didn't use him. Jair Alexander, will he not be the best corner on the Buffalo Bills? And he's probably going to be their third corner. And so they're getting better. They're adding better players to help Lamar Jackson get there. Now, if you talk just those 2 guys, yeah, Josh has had his number head to head. But I'm going with Lamar because of the guys around him, and he seems to be improving throwing the ball. Initially, it was Lamar Jackson going to throw the ball a little bit, and they're going to run it a ton. Yeah. It's completely opposite now. So I'm going to say Lamar's going to win a ring.
But I'm going off of, because them stats right there, good God.
That looks like, them stats is hard. How can you pick Lamar?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Very true.
What I'm saying right now is I believe that Lamar that we see in the regular season is going to show up.
Why?
Hold on. And if that Lamar in the
I believe Josh Allen can fly this year.
Because he's too good.
I believe he'll just figure out how to fly all of a sudden.
That. Like, he has one bad quarter in games.
James, he's been too good, though. Lamar has been great since 2020.
But not in the playoffs, though. So would you, no, for real, though. So would you bet on Lamar continuing to be bad like this and throw picks and not be good? Or would you believe that the type of player Lamar is that he'll be better in the playoffs? Which one would you lean towards?
Because the playoffs is the best of the best.
I think that's what he does. Think about it. Lamar's playoff wins are over a Pittsburgh Steelers, Russell Wilson, Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill, and a rookie, C.J. Stroud.
What would you lean towards? Him continuing to play bad or him to look like the MVP Lamar Jackson in the playoffs?
I think I'll lean towards MVP. But what I think is Lamar will look in the playoffs going forward, I think, like he looked like this past year. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I think he had 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 lost fumble. So it wasn't terrible, but if I'm not mistaken, Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns, no interceptions this playoffs. So Lamar, I think, will be better, but I need way better. He needs way better. Forget me. Hey, when we return, NFC East, it is loaded right now. So what does that mean for the Giants? Russell Wilson said he only joined the Giants to team up with superstar receiver Malik Neighbors. So are we asleep on the Giants? That's next. Absolutely. Hey, Russell Wilson was a huge addition for the Giants. You could say he was a Giant addition, actually. The offseason, I know, I shouldn't have made the joke. Johnny. I get it. Hey, Russ said he came to New York because of wide receiver Malik Neighbors, adding, quote, I really wanted to play with someone who was special like him, close quote. TJ, are we sleeping on the Giants?
Oh, man, are we? They defense, maybe? I'm a fan of Dable. Mm-hmm. I believe Brian Dable is one of the most underrated head coaches and play callers in the league. But when you look at the Giants, how much different are they than the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively?
Talk about it.
Not much. So are we sleeping? They gonna be good on defense.
Yeah.
What they gonna do on offense?
Let's go.
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a quarterback. Russell Wilson is at his best when you run play action. That ain't Dable's offense. Mm-hmm. This ain't Seattle and this ain't Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh. And so, I mean, how is he gonna play? You went to New York to play with Neighbors mid-season. Let's see if you still feel that way, because Neighbors gonna be mad.
Yeah.
I don't see what they're gonna do on. They're in the division with the Commanders.
Talk about it. If we sleep, I'm staying asleep. That's what it is for me. 3 wins last year, worst team in the NFC. I'm not trying to wake up. If we sleep, I'm staying asleep. I look at the roster. How many players on the Giants could even start for the Eagles? 6? Maybe.
All on defense.
Maybe. Like, how many could start for them? You know what I mean?
Like, pass rushers.
That's what I'm saying.
They
not even Jalen. Everybody but Jalen Rager. I think Dexter Lawrence would start. I think Abdul Carter would start. And I think Brian Burns would start. Linebacker, man, maybe Okeke, because the Eagles going to start a rookie because you got Nakobe Dean hurt. Corner. Wait, how many dudes are starting, James? Offensively, nobody. Maybe Andre Thomas if you don't like Mailata. Maybe. Malik Neighbors, is he starting over Smitty? That's very disrespectful to Smitty. Very disrespectful if you're going to say that. So how many? 6?
But it's close.
6?
Nah, he not. Nobody on the Giants offense would start for the Eagles. Not one player. Not one.
You in regular? Or you?
Hey, we go 3 wide.
That shit, what kind of offense we running?
We go 3 wide. There we go.
See what kind of offense we running.
And everybody is in 3 wide.
That's it. I am on the Giants bandwagon. I think the Giants are going to be a good football team, a better football team than a lot of people think. I think Brian Daboll and this offense is perfect for us. You have speed and a route runner in Malik Neighbors. You have a really good young running back in Tracy Jr. who could run and catch the football. And then defensively, they are going to stop the run and get after the quarterback. If Russell Wilson in this offense is better than Daniel Jones was in this offense, which I believe he can be, then they will be a team in the playoffs like Daniel Jones was. I truly believe that. I said playoffs. I truly believe that. They are a good football team right now on paper. I'm tell you, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, read my lips, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, read my lips. The Giants are going to be good.
I got to use that more often. Hey, when we return, we're having a Blitz meeting, and the Thunder, they're actually having their championship parade today. You see them lined up out there in Oklahoma.
Oh, ready the next day. Look nice, too.
I know they ready. Hopefully the players are sobered up. Hey, OKC or the field, are we taking them next year? That's next Blitz. It's time for a Blitz meeting. Raider superstar Max Crosby said, "We have a very healthy rivalry with Patrick Mahomes," which got us thinking about the other top quarterback, defensive player battles coming up this season. A very interesting question. James, let's start with you on the far end. What quarterback, defensive player matchup are you most excited about?
Week 1, Aaron Rodgers versus Sauce Gardner. Is he going to try him? We are going to see. I'm looking forward to that matchup.
I like that.
I'm gonna go home cooking. I'll go home cooking.
Oh, what you got, Slick?
Joe Burrow versus the Ravens, Kyle Hamilton.
That's a good one.
That is a good
Joe
one.
Burrow's got his wide receiver signed and delivered. Now he's always had a challenge with the Ravens. Let's see how that goes.
I like that a lot. I'm going with the petty individual because I'm a petty individual. Jair Alexander versus his old quarterback, Jordan Love. Jair Alexander, he gritted on Justin Jefferson.
Hey.
So you better believe Jair going to be ready to see the package.
He is going to be petty if he can pick it.
I'm going to go a little different.
Jair.
I'm going to go Jared Verse and Lamar Jackson.
Why?
Just the way he played, and then you heard Ron Armstead when he retired, I don't got to block guys like Jared Verse anymore. So I'm eager to see how he matches up his speed with Lamar.
That's interesting. I like that one. Okay,
You better be ready to break down.
Cleveland. Let's move to Cleveland. A report says Joe Flacco is the best leader and is the leader to start for this crowded quarterback room this year. TJ, let's start with you on the far right end. Who should be the Browns' Week 1 starter?
I'm going with a rookie.
Yeah.
And from everything I've been hearing, Shadir's playing the best. I'm starting Shadir Sanders. I'm going with a rookie. I need to find my quarterback of the future. Rookie.
until the rookie is ready, I'm going with the vet. Give me Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco helped Kevin Stefanski win Coach of the Year 2 years ago. I don't think Kevin Stefanski has forgotten that. Flacco, day one.
Flacco's the old head in the room, I'll give you that. But you went out and you specifically signed Kenny Pickett. You need to find out, is he the guy or not? And if he's not, let's find out right away. Shador, I don't want to throw him to the wolves right away. Let that bake a little bit.
I've been saying Kenny Pickett. I like that. But for me, I don't think Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett is taking the Browns nowhere. Put one of the rookies in. I'm saying Shador and see what you got. Because if them rookies don't plan out, you got 2 first-rounders next year. Go get
3 different guys. They have no quarterbacks.
Exactly right. Hey, Sam Darnold talked about the final stretch of his time with Minnesota, saying the offense laid an egg and he didn't play up to his standard. But nonetheless, the Seahawks still gave him $35 million a year, at least $35 million. So, Jay, will the Seahawks regret giving the keys to Sam Darnold?
Wait, really quick. He said the offense laid an egg?
Right? Exactly right. Exactly right.
I didn't try to figure that out. What's the question?
Will the Seahawks regret giving Darnold the keys?
Yes, they will regret it. And the main reason they regret it is when you sign a quarterback to all that money, you want playoffs or you want Super Bowl. I don't think he's delivering any of that. Will he play average? Will he play well? Sure, but I don't think he's delivering them to the playoffs, and I definitely don't think he's delivering the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say regret.
$35 million really a lot of money?
Not in this day and age for a starter.
Look, he's a placeholder. He might have the keys, but it's to a rental car. He's just holding.
That's fair. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Rental car's too good.
You don't. I'll be right over speed bump. Right over speed bump.
Yeah.
I'm a yes. I think the Seahawks are going to regret it. Mike McDonald, second year as a head coach, won 10 wins last year. But you got rid of DK Metcalf, you got rid of Tyler Lockett, and you entered in Sam Darnold. You're not even giving him a great position to succeed. I don't think they will.
I'm going to say no. Last I checked, they wasn't going to the playoffs with Geno Smith, were they? Nah, he ain't going to regret it.
I like that. I like that. Okay, very quickly, Thunder having a championship parade, but what about next season? Championship parades today, but we're already focused on next year. Hey, put this one behind you. TJ, you taking the Thunder or the field next season?
I'm taking the field, KD and the Rockets.
KD and the Rockets.
Yeah.
I'm taking the field.
That's not taking the field.
KD and the Rockets.
Hey, KD and the Rockets.
Electro. 7 different champions, 7 different years. We're going to have an 8th next year. I'm taking the field.
I'm with you. I got to go with history right now. It's constant change. We don't have back-to-backs. We're going to see that again.
Sweet! Yeah, I'm taking the field, man. Like I say, that Pacers series kind of took a step back. Yeah. I don't know how dominant they are.
That's well said. Okay, I will try to stay off social media and stay out of trouble because I know if I get into a beef
we need
with
the material.
I know James ain't going to have my back, though.
Hey, man,
He's not going to have my back.
Hey, in the streets, I will.